Hey y'all, this is Dave coming from the Gaming Cave. Today we're going to start preparation for our B-17 Flying Fortress Leader by Dan Verson Games. And um, we will be doing the setup today. So there's several steps to it. And I'm going to show you the spreadsheet that I use to track all the points and the SO points and the missions and victory points and all things that go with this, so I don't use any paper copies. And also we'll go through all the alternate rules that I use that gain me more SO points, but add a little bit of complexity to the game. First thing though I wanted to show you was the board, because it's a little bit bigger setup, and as you can see as I back away here, it gets pretty busy here. But when we zoom in, we have target locations, up to 11 targets. We have our sequence of play down this side of the board. We have target cards, German commander cards, event cards, and airfield target cards. In the center of the board is the map. So this is where we'll be conducting our operations, and all the German airfields and things will be displayed. Up here is the calendar. So this game will actually be played in August. So we're going to be in August of 1943. It's a short campaign, so it's only going to be for 1 month. Then we have our mission, so when we're into fighter attacks on our bombers. And then down here we'll track bandits disrupted, the aircraft factories, and because of this campaign, we don't have to do any theater, so we don't have to worry about the Mediterranean theater or the Russian theater. So it simplifies the game a little bit. It's only 4 weeks long, so that's 8 total missions if we fly 2 missions each week, which is our limit, and that's what we'll try to do. The other thing I'll show you when we're doing this, these are all the counters that we're going to have. So there's 19 B-17 groups available. There's 4 B-24s, there's 6 fighter groups, and these two, one of them's a B-25 group and the other one's a B-26 group. And then we'll randomly draw for our fighter groups and bomber groups to see what we're going to get. And I'm going to use one of the new expansion packs. That came in the expansion pack is the airfields. So I'm going to be playing with the airfields. And we're going to draw them randomly as we draw our groups. So some of them will cost me SO points if I draw it. So that's where we're at. So I'm going to get set up, and I'm going to get the spreadsheet set up and loaded up, and then I'll give you a shot of that, and then I'll do everything, be a little slower while I enter things. And then when we get done with that, I'll show you how the spreadsheet actually looks once we have everything set, and then we'll be ready to go into that first week. Okay, so this is the spreadsheet I'm going to be using. I got it off of Board Game Geek. And as you can see here, it lists the campaign. It's a short aircraft factory or aircraft industry focus. These are the optional SO points that I'm going to get. I'm going to do random groups, target intelligence, weather, bomber wings, fighter group engagement. We're going to remove the 8 no bandits. So if we get bandits, they're most likely we're going to get them. And we're going to use the veteran and novice bandit levels for 1943. All those added to my cards for this factory focus is going to give me a starting of 123. So I still have to list all the groups and names, and then which wing they're going to be in. We'll do all that assigning. I already took out the 16 recon costs that I'm going to use for my 2 recons. I bought the better ones because it's very important you get good recon on your targets. It really helps you when you're trying to knock these things out. So that's what I did there. This other tab is shows your victory points and how you're doing. So of course we have 0 right now, so we're dismal. We don't have any of our groups aren't in here yet with their skills and skill level. We'll have to fill all that out. This is all just part of the setup. There's a tab for the parameters, so this is where the spreadsheet looks up everything, and of course the user's guide. So how to use it. So this is what we'll be using. It's pretty cool. I really like it because it keeps track of all these points and things that you're gaining and using and cost for bombs and all that stuff. So this is what we'll be using. So now we'll start the game board setup. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is set the German airfields up. So we do this by rolling 2 dice. And let's see, rearrange this a little bit and see if I can get the dice rolls here without having to swing the camera constantly. Yeah, it's going to be close. Well, we'll see how we do here. May have to move it just a little bit so you can see it come down a little bit. So we have 12 airfields. We're doing the short aircraft industry focus. So this is the card. We had to draw 2 special airfields. I'll show or 2 special targets, Regensburg and Schweinfurt. I'll show those to you in just a second. Here it tells us we need 12 squadrons, 3 airfields, 4 aircraft factories. Don't have to do the theaters and no secondary mission. And also tells us what technologies are available: chaff, APT-2 jammer, H2X radar, YB-40s, and chin turrets, and then of course what we have to score for our evaluation. We got to start with 90, but I added an extra 33 with all the optional stuff that we're doing, and we'll get 22 SO points a week. We need those for buying decent bombs. No monthly replacement points. And so when we go to do our groups, we start with 1 recruit, 1 green, 2 average, 1 skilled, and then after that, everything we buy is green. So it's not, not too bad. So the first thing we need to do is set our 12 targets, our airfields. So here we go, the first airfield. We just add these together, 8 and 7, it's a 15. So we put this one in 15. All right, next one is 10. This goes into 10. And these can be unlimited numbers in these. Next one is 17. 17 is 16 and 17 go together. That's over by Berlin, so they get theirs. Next one is 6. We put this one in 6, way down here. Then we have another 6, which really I like these guys being way up there because a lot less trouble for us. Another 6. Wow, something's going to change out of this, I'm sure. All right, next one is a 9. Okay, got a 9 right there. And 14. 14 is up here in the north. And 11. 11. And 9 and 3 is 12. He goes there. And 4 and 1's a 5. So 5 is right here. They're spread out pretty good. And then 6 and 2 is 8. So he's there. I think there's a rule. There's a rule here for squadron reassignment. If any German critical hexes, 9, 12, 13, and 15. So 9, 12, 13, and 15. 13 does not have a squadron in it. Then reassign one of the squadrons to the critical hex from the edge hex with the most Luftwaffe squadrons. So 6 is a edge hex and it has 3, so one of those comes up here to 13. So it takes care of that. And now we've set our Luftwaffe squadrons. So the next thing we're going to do is we have to assign our bomber, purchase our bomber and fighter groups. Okay, we'll swing this around a little bit and move my dice tower back out of the way because I'm going to need this space now. As you can see, I placed all the available fighters and bombers all in this cup. That's what we're going to draw from. Kind of get things organized here for us so that as we draw them, we can find these planes. We got to put them in the right order. We have fighter bases and we have bomber bases to also draw. And I'm going to be doing this with my spreadsheet at the same time. So on this card, the first one we draw is a recruit. So we're going to draw our first, whatever it is the recruit. And it is bomb group, 306th bomb group. Go 5th. Go first. 306th. And this is the 306th bomb group, Scarlet, and they're already there to recruit, and we need a bomber base to go with them. And I already shuffled these, so we're just going to take this top one, and it's a Hardwick, and so no cost. Okay. Okay, he's our recruit, and he costs 12 SO points. So we got to get that in there too, because without that, we won't know what our points are. The airfield didn't cost me anything. I still have 117 points left. Okay, here comes our next group, and here goes over here. Group counter. I really like having these airfields. So you can see we set that right in there. It looks nice. All right. Next one is 96 bomb group, and he's going to be green. This is our green. So the 96th, as soon as I find him here. Here's the 96th. Oops. Oh. Okay, so we got to change him to green. It's flak happy, and there's the 96th bomb group that we'll be using. And they get a bomber base. Aha. So they get Molesworth Airfield, and it cost me 5 SO points. I need to add them real quick. So his cost is actually, oh, it's 14 SOs plus 5, so that's 19. Got to change that to 19. Okay. My next is going to be 2 average. There's the 96th. He's right here. Okay, the first one is the 398th bomb group, and his airfield is I. There's no cost to that. So I need the 398th. $398. Here's hoping. We gotta get him to average. There he is. His cost is 14. Nothing on the airfield. So I gotta enter him real quick. I still have 84 SO points. Okay, my next plane is still average, and that is the 20th fighter group. So the P-38s, they came available in July of 43. So we get them. They're a fighter group, and they're going to Debden with no cost. So there's our first fighter group. So we need one or two of them. We don't need a lot of them. And now we're down to 72. Okay. Oops. And he is average. So I got to change him. So we take this out. We make him average. Okay. Our next one is skilled. So give me somebody good. Skilled is the 389th bomb group, and it's a B-24 group, and they get Dean Thorpe. Extra replacements. Bomb group is the 389th? Yes, 389th. Here they are. Hitler's Hearst. These guys are going to be skilled. There's the skilled right there. And their cost is 16. So they're expensive. Hopefully they'll be good for us. Okay. 398. I'm going to start a new wing for him. I'm sorry, 389. Let's get that right. Okay. Plus 5, that's 21. We're down to 51 now. Sure would like to have another B-24. Okay, everybody's green after this now. Next one is the 100th bomb group, and his base is Bassingbourn. Cost me 5. This is the 100th. Right there he is. The bloody 100th. His cost is 14 and his base is 5, so that makes that 19. Okay, so the bloody 100th was 14 points plus 5 for his airfield. That's 19. We now have 32. We're getting near this point where we're going to have to call it and see what we've got. So here's, oh, and he was supposed to be green. Take him off a recruit. Make him green. Okay, another green is the 97th bomb group. And his airfield is no cost, Thurley Airfield. Okay, and 97th. Paradise Lost, and he's green. That leaves me with 20 points, and so that's where I'm going to go right now. Got one fighter group. I got this bomber wing here, which has the B-24 and the B-17 in it. And then I have this bomber wing, which has 4 in there. I think I'm going to leave them with 4, and then hopefully I can add some more bombers. I can give me another group here if I do well, and see if we can build this up. But this is what we're going to start with. Not the greatest, but we'll see how it works out. So that's our fighter and bomber group that we got, and then I'll have to go through and check for all their upgrades and everything, and I'll do that when I wrap this up. So we have our bombers, we have our levels. I'll check for any renowned commanders. I don't see any, so I don't have any right now. I already did my recon. So now we have to do aircraft factory targets. So there's 2 mandatory targets in this game. The first target, get this out of the way now. The first target is Schweinfurt. It's a ball bearing factory, BB03. Supply and victory points is 6, so it's good victory points for getting that. Schweinfurt, Germany. Hex 15, range is 3, so the B-17s can reach them. I can send up to 5 bombers. Whoever destroys this gets the Distinguished Unit Cross, so that's nice. Incendiaries are 7, 9 for hits, air to ground 0. The Luftwaffe response is +3, and they got flak. They also have a repair, and there's a penalty of -2 SO every week. So even this first week, we're going to have to pay that. So we got to get this thing knocked out. That's target number 1. Target number 2 is Regensburg, Germany, Hex 18, range 4. That's going to be my tough one, because right now, the only guy I've got that can get there is the B-24. And I can tell you, he can't do it by himself, so we're going to have to figure something out here. Luftwaffe responses +2. He does get an air to ground of +1, and he has flak against you, and he's -2 against your reserves. So as long as he's out there, he's causing us a problem. Those 2 targets have to be destroyed in this game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, so then we have to draw 3 airfields and 4 factories. So since I already got my factories there, we'll start drawing aircraft factory targets. So the first one will be Gotha, Germany, Hex 15, range 3. The next one will be a victory point of 4, same as Gotha, Hex 16, range of 4. Next target, victory points of 3, Frankfurt. You can only send 3 bombers. Hex 13, range 2. He's a close target. He's one we can go after. And then victory point of 3, Hex 14, range 3, 4 bombers. And so that's another nice target. Now we draw 3 airfields. Oops. So the first airfield is Saint Desire, France, Hex 5, range is 3. The next airfield target is Leipzig, Germany, Hex 16, range 4. So he's way out there. Makes it hard to go get him. And then Bergen in the Netherlands, range of 2, Hex 12. So that's a nice one to be able to go get. Okay, so we have 9 targets on the map. There are no secondary missions that we have to draw for this one. The next one we do is draw the German commander. The German commander is Commander Jeschenek. They're replacing with an 8+. His tactics are rockets and out of the sun, so we have to give him that. And they have technology. HO-229 flying wing jet bomber. Western deployment focus is +1. So we'll go over all those things when we get into that. Okay, so that completes the board setup. So now what I have to do is enter all my information into the spreadsheet, and then we'll get ready for the first week of this mission. Okay, so here's the spreadsheet. It's all filled out. I want to show you what I was doing kind of while I was drawing everything. Takes me a little bit longer, but it's better than writing and all that stuff. So uh, we drew, these are the bomb groups, and we assign them in wings. Because we're using the wing, that means the wing has to attack the same target. So let's say I send him after the deep target. That means that the 97th doesn't go on a mission that week. If I want to send 5 bomb groups on an attack, then the 389th can't go. So that's the difference here. I got to build up my wing B. I need some B-24s to go with them. So we're going to see what we can do there. The one fighter group, this is how I drew them: the recruit, the green, the average, the green, skilled, green, average. Okay, this is what they cost me along with their air bases. So remember, I started with 123, which included the 22 points for this week. Okay, and then we spent 16 on recon. So we cost me 12, 19, 14, 19, 21 for the skilled B-24 group, 12 and 12. And it leaves me with 20 points. But I hope I don't have to use too many of those for this first bombing. And then over here is where you keep track of your victory points and skill. So again, there's all their status and then how many points they have to earn before they get promoted. So it's pretty neat, pretty simple once you get used to using it, but it makes the math and keeping track of everything so much easier. You just got to kind of watch your formulas and things when you're doing this. All right, so we're all set up and we're ready to go. And so the next thing we do is get ready to play week 1 of the short campaign for aircraft industry focus. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you, if you like it, if you like what we're doing here, subscribe. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you. All right, we'll see you in a little while.